very much for listening.
If you are here today, there's something of you that has Martin Luther King's spirit and that has Cesar Chavez spirit. If you are here, it's because you have that spirit. You're here to talk about dreams. And these gentlemen were dreamers. And most of all, they were doers. And so I like to hang out with people who make dreams come true. They really are awesome people. I like when the dreamers become the doers. So the dream that Martin Luther King had was not simply a dream, but it was a summons to everyone in the world, to everyone in America, that it was time to change things. And the other day, I was thinking, qué increíble que hubo un terremoto in Washington, D.C. Let me say that in English. The other day, I was up on the 7th floor, and I thought I was on a hammock, And suddenly, I realized that this was an earthquake. And I've been thinking about that, because today, I want to address that dream that Martin Luther King had. And that was the freedom, the political freedom, securing the political freedom of every resident in the District of Columbia. And that's the dream that I want to talk about and that I want to do something about. Because our rights, our political freedom is not going to be handed to us. Our political freedom is what we do every day. And we've got to engage the American people about this responsibility, because freedom is not just about us in the District of Columbia. It is the collective responsibility of every American in the United States, and we've got to remind them. On this weekend, these events are to celebrate Martin Luther King. But don't forget that Martin Luther King, as I said earlier, was about doing things. And the people of the District of Columbia this weekend in the committee, you've heard of this committee, committee that's putting all these events. Well, that was citizens. Some of you are in that committee. I see some of you just came in. Some of you may want to join this committee. You still have a chance. But this is the host committee that we put together. Just a group. I don't like to say ordinary. I don't like to say average. I don't think any of you are ordinary and average. I think that we are very special because we are sharing a journey on earth here. And we got some things to do. And so we put together these events. We've hit the embassies. Last night we were at the Indian Embassy. We're going to go to the Argentine Embassy tomorrow. We're doing things. Today I was on the radio with the mayor and a bunch of other people. But this earthquake, sometimes I might get a little, cosmic here. But, as I was swaying on that earthquake, I said that, I thought, this earthquake, what is it? It was a signal. It was the collective beating of our hearts in the District of Columbia residents to refresh our movement, and that we would no longer wait, that we are going to shake things up, that this is a call to freedom. That's how I want to interpret that earthquake, because, ladies and gentlemen, there is going to be another earthquake, and that's the people of the District of Columbia becoming the 51st state of the United States. We have 600,000 people. We may not have 5 million, but freedom, as Martin Luther King said, belongs to all the people. Freedom is not to be bargained. Freedom is not to be negotiated. freedom is a collective responsibility of all of us. And so, many years ago, you see, you always see me with this little star here. And they said, well, what is this star? Well, I am a decorated veteran of combat. I've been to the front lines for DC rights and now statehood. A long time ago, a wise man named Carlos Rosario took a hold of a young man named Hector Rodriguez, who had just come out of working with the White House committee, as Franklin said. And when Nixon came in, they threw us out. But we did a lot of things, but we lasted. Okay? Now, there was a hearing going on in the city about the problems of the Latino community. And Carlos said, Hector, can you talk about the problems of the Latino community? I said, there's loads of people that know the problems of the Latino community. I like to work on solutions. And that's what I want to summon all of you, to think about the solutions. Spend only 10% of the time on the problem and 90% on the solution. We've been going backwards. So is the Congress. We need to spend more time on solutions, and I challenge every young person here to be thinking about how we're going to solve the problems of the world, to take over now. Us guys and women of my age are still fighting, but we certainly need your energy. We need your spirit, unspoiled minds, and get busy about the business of freedom for the District of Columbia, okay? And so, I wanted to just tell you that Carlos Rosario got me involved in this, and at first it was new, but guess what? I got selected with Carlos as vice chairman, can you believe it, of the committee to support home rule, to support the charter. How many know what that is? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that charter is the present government that you are working under in the District of Columbia. That is the government that you are working, because at one time we did not have an elected mayor and city council. A president gets elected and he would appoint so-and-so as our city council. We never elected them. But we fought in the District of Columbia in the charter committee to ensure that we have our own elected government. Guess what? It had been 200 years since that had happened. And now we're going to change that charter to statehood. That's going to be what we're going to do, and I am going to be alive with you to celebrate statehood, because there's a lot of changes that are turning over this world. We see governments that are falling in the Middle East, that are falling like diseases. We see changes in the economy of this country. And I say to you that we are going to see the day when we are full citizens and we have our political rights in the District of Columbia. And so I want to close with something that I wrote at one point. Martin Luther King was a man that inspired me. And Martin Luther King had something so special. And I remember Cesar Chavez, along with Martin Luther King. One day, I was boycotting grapes at the International Safeway on Wisconsin Avenue. I had a shirt, a white, beat-up shirt that said, Boricuas boycott grapes. Okay? And I was an activist then. And I was boycotting grapes at the International Safeway. I was not going to eat those grapes. And guess what? I was so proud of that. And guess who comes along out of that Safeway that I didn't know was in there? The chief of staff of the President of the United States came out of that. Jordan. His name was Jordan. And I said, what are you doing in here? We just, campaigned for you. And I said, oh, well, he got an earful from me and some of the other people. But so you always got to make sure that you can keep an eye on everybody. So this situation with statehood is a maturing, you might say, of the process. You've got to know that since 1801, and thanks to Ann Loico, she's educated me a lot right here. This lady is the official historian for the National Latino Alliance for DC State. How about a hand for Ann Loico? Because when we call this an alliance, we're talking about all kind of people working together. That's the way Martin Luther King wanted. So she's our historian. She's not Latino, but she's one of us, and we're one of her. And that's what this is all about. And so, I'm not going to read this ode. It's a 17-page ode that I wrote, but I'm going to take one excerpt and then I'll sit down. And I'll tell you what, the Martin Luther King ode, when it came to me, and when something great, bigger than you comes to you, take it. Grab your pen and take it. Do put it on video, put it on something, but don't let it get away from you. It's a gift from somewhere to you. It's a message to you. And so, this ode to Martin Luther King came to me, and I'm just going to read one excerpt, and that is when at one point during the civil rights movement, there was a lot of tension in this nation. Some of you my age maybe may recall, and some of you that are younger may not, but we were on the verge of a civil war in this country. People had had enough. People were being crushed. There was a Vietnam War. I never made a career in the military because I was against the Vietnam War. I made captain and got out. Okay? My fight was here. And I came to Washington, D.C., and I got engaged in it. But what happened was that